My name is Mike Yates, and I am the director of the Blue Water Navy section of Military Veterans Advocacy. This video is being made to show you how I do dead reckoning from the information that I find in the deck log. First, I will explain what dead reckoning is. Dead reckoning is the process of calculating a ship's position at sea by starting with a known good latitude and longitude as listed in the deck log and plotting the course and speed changes the ship made during a period. With this, you can estimate the ship's position and create a plot. For this to work, you need a good starting latitude and longitude from either the 0800, 1200, 2000, or a good location listed in the narrative section of the deck log. In a deck log, the officer of the deck usually would enter the latitude and longitude at 3 different times a day, 0800, 1200, and 2000. You may hear many people say that VA does not accept dead reckoning as a way to validate a claim. I'm here to tell you they're wrong. The ship that we'll be using in the video was used in a claim, and the claim was approved. You might ask how I know. Well, it was my claim that was approved, and we submitted a dead reckoning plot with my claim. On this image, I have an example of a dead reckoning plot. The yellow line is a plot I made from the 0800, 1200, and 2000 locations as listed in the deck log. The line in magenta is the dead reckoning plot between 1200 and 2000 using the 1200 latitude and longitude as the starting point and course and speed changes made after 1200 as listed in the deck log. One thing to keep in mind that doing dead reckoning is only an estimate. Things like advance and drift will cause the plot to be off a bit. By this, what I mean is if you start at 0800 and do a dead reckoning to 1200, chances are you will not wind up in the exact 1200 position as listed in the deck log, but you should be close. Therefore, when I do dead reckoning, I will only validate it if the plot shows it's well within the territorial seas. For me to determine if I need to do a dead reckoning plot, I first plot the 0800, 1200, and 2000 locations. If I find one is within 5 nautical miles of the territorial sea and it appears to be heading towards the territorial sea, I will check the narrative in the deck log to see if I can determine if the ship is going to continue heading towards the territorial seas. If I do determine this, I will then run a dead reckoning plot. On this image is a page from the deck log. I will take the locations listed at 0800, 1200, and 2000 and do a plot. Here's the results of the plot. As you can see, starting at 0800, the ship is heading northwest. At 1200, it turns south and stays on the same course until 2000. Since the ship is close and is heading towards the territorial seas, this will lead me to invest the time in doing a dead reckoning plot. Now I have written a macro in Excel to help me do the plotting. I will enter the data onto the spreadsheet, and when I run the macro, it will create a file for me to open in Coastal Explorer. The first step is to pick the starting location to begin the dead reckoning plot. Since it appears that the 2000 location is heading towards the direction of the territorial seas, I will start with that. I will enter the ship's name, the date, and the ship's latitude and longitude from the 2000 location onto the spreadsheet. The next step is to go back to the deck log. Since I am starting at 2000, I need to find the ship's course and speed of the ship at 2000. If you look above the 20-24 entry, you will see that at 1950 they changed the base course to 340 and the base speed to 20 knots. So on the spreadsheet, I will enter at 2000, course 340 and speed of 20. The next step is to check after the 2000 entry and find any course or speed changes. For this example, you will see that at 2013, the ship changed base course to 030, but no speed change was made. You will notice that there are changes at 2040, 2058, 2100, 2103, 2112, 2114, 2120, 2126, 2127, 2137, 2150, 2200, 2224, 2228, 2247, 2257, 2300, 2306, and at 2318. For each of these changes, I will take and enter the time, the course, and speed onto the spreadsheet. Now at 2018, I've decided to stop adding the changes into the spreadsheet and run the plot, but I could have went all the way to 2400 or even into the next day. Once I've entered all these numbers, I will run my macro. I will run it now, and this will be in real time. You will notice that the column run and distance are now filled out. Run is the time between the two entries, and the distance is the distance traveled in nautical miles between the two entries. At the same time, the macro will be creating a file that will be able to be opened in Coastal Explorer. On this image, I have plotted the 0800, 1200, and 2000 locations in yellow. The line in black is the dead reckoning line and is the plot between 2000 and 2318. You will notice that at 2037, the location is between the territorial seas and the demarcation line. The ship headed south and still stayed well within the territorial sea line. The ship stayed inside the territorial sea line until just after 2224, where it leaves the territorial seas. At this point, I will validate the deck log. I will provide a copy of the plot, the 2 pages of the deck log for that date, and a letter stating that I have found that the ship was well within the territorial seas based on the location at 2200. The reason I picked this time is that it is the farthest inside the territorial sea. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it gives you a better understanding of dead reckoning. If you are not a member of Military Veterans Advocacy, I would encourage you to join. The cost is $25 a year. I want to remind you, none of the leadership of Military Veterans Advocacy receives any pay for the work we do. We are all volunteers. The money we raise through dues and donations are used to support veterans. Please check out our website and Facebook pages. If you have any questions, you can email me at commander@bluewaternavy.org. Thank you.